It is Wednesday, September 29, and it's our time for a noonday inspiration. I'm so excited. We're into the last quarter of the year. We have come this far through the pandemic, through everything that has happened in the year, and we're about getting ready to kick into that last 3 months, the last lap. You know, sometimes it gets rough on the last lap, but we're gonna hang on in there. We're using our daily inspiration for better living as our inspirational guide. And our writer for this month is Blanche Kimber Wilson out of Chicago. Of course, we have been working for the month with the gifts, our 12 spiritual gifts. And this month, of course, the color green, our spiritual faculty of order, we have been calling forth. Today, Blanche tells us about allowing ourselves some time to allow the principles to sink, to take root in our soul and in our lives and in our consciousness so that it can just flow. You know, like when something is natural, you know, like we say make it set. You know, there's a song, there's a Jamaican song that one of our artists sing that says, set good like ice in a freezer. And in this case, we're talking about allowing the principles to just set, like, you know, ice sets, and you know, when the ice is ready, in the same way, allow the truth that you learn, allow the truth that we speak, allow the truth that we teach, allow the truth that we practice to become so embedded in your subconscious mind that it just flows naturally out of you. And so, Jonathan McReynolds has a song that talks about staying the course, talks about not jumping ship. You know the story when Jesus and his disciples, after having a long day, they were on that ship. Jesus fell asleep at the back of the ship, and the sea started to roar and get rough, and you know the disciples started to fret and wonder what was going on, and they woke up Jesus, and Jesus said, come on, man, peace be still. So in those moments, we're talking today about how you let it land is the title. How do you allow those truth principles to be embedded in your soul? Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us as usual as we start today talking about not jumping ship, because God is on the ship. Come on, team, we're not jumping.
When you focus on the sun, you feel the light on your face and your heart gets warm. Remember what he's done, and you feel from the hills that your help will come. When you focus on the storm, though, everything around is yelling no. Your boat is rocking in the dark waves, and it's enough to make you wanna jump ship, jump ship, jump ship. Don't forget God is on it, on it, on it. So you won't have to jump ship, jump ship. 'Cause you know God will handle it, handle it, handle it, handle it, oh, handle it. Feels like you're about to blow. Don't let the lies and replies take you off your post. Just read and let it go. Put the phone down and know God is in control. And let the master of the seas keep you in perfect peace. A blessing under pressure, and pressure makes it better, and better gives you hope. So you would have to go, you ain't gonna jump ship. You're gonna trust it, jump ship. I gotta live on it, you on it, on it. So you can jump ship, you gotta trust God, jump ship. Hey, God will handle it. I know God will handle it. My God will handle it. I know God will. You're the one that I trust in the war. You are my defense, and I'll hold on to you in the storm, so I won't jump ship. In the darkness I shine like the sun, and I won't dismiss. Stick with you till I get to the shore. So you ain't got to jump ship. You ain't got to jump ship. Jump ship. Oh, God, on it. Don't forget God. Don't forget God. You don't have to jump ship. You don't have to jump ship. Jump ship. 'Cause you know my God is. My God will. My God will. My God will. So you don't have to jump ship. Jump ship. Jump ship. You gotta trust God. You gotta trust God. ship, hey, jump ship. Cause I know my God will. I know my God will. I know my God will. Just trust God and let it handle it. Trust God. You gotta trust God. He will take care of you.
You know, this song spoke to me because I'm sure all of you can identify that one point, or even more than one point, when you had the thought of giving up. It may have been letting go of a relationship, it may be giving up on a project, it may be giving up on a dream, it may be a job, it may be something, but you just were at that point when you just felt like you wanted to give up, jump ship, like the song says. And it's in those moments that Jonathan McReynolds was reminding us that in those moments when we feel like we want to jump ship, we got to remember that God is on it, and God can handle it. And similarly, our writer this month is talking about how it is that we allow the truths that we know, those principles that we know, to take root in our soul, to take root in us, to take root in our subconscious minds, which is the seat of our memory, which is our tape recorder, which is what records all of those things that we accept in our conscious minds and which plays them back for us in those times when we are ready for them. And we're talking about that today. So let's hear what Blanche has to say about let it land, she calls it. Blanche says, let it land, an expression taken from improvisational theater, is used today to imply that the hearer will give more thought to what he or she hears before speaking or responding. When you let it land, you let whatever you hear, read, or study connect mentally before responding. Now, you know some of us don't let it land at all. You know, as they start talking, you know, we have the quick retort for them. As something comes up, we have an instant thing. So we're not allowing things to be cemented in us, to be registered in our consciousness, to get a kind of an understanding. And today, Blanche is telling us to let it land. She says, as students of truth, we must give the principles and spiritual laws we are learning time to influence our subconscious mind, or land in our awareness to form an impression, a belief, or an attitude. This stores them so that we can access them upon demand or as the need arises. Now, I want to stop there for a little bit, because I want us to look at how it is that we allow these truth principles to land. And I want us to look at ourselves, because all of us know we are threefold beings, right? So we're spirit, mind, and body. But in our conscious mind, our entire mind, we have our superconscious, our conscious, and our subconscious mind. We would have learned about that maybe in school in studying of psychology. Our superconscious mind, our conscious mind, and our subconscious mind. But it's still one mind. Now, our superconscious mind catches divine ideas. That is where all that God is, all the love, the life, the wisdom, the substance, the power. We get those ideas from spirit, and we catch those ideas that channel through our superconscious mind. Now, in our conscious mind, we have a very, very serious responsibility, because the conscious mind either accepts the idea or rejects the idea, right? The conscious mind chooses. It is very, very important. So let's say, for example, an idea comes to you around transportation, and the idea says to you, I would like, a Porsche, right? Let's say a Porsche is available. The idea of transportation comes to you in the form of a Porsche. Now you catch that idea, and your conscious mind either says, oh yes, okay, I can accept a Porsche, or it says, no, I can't accept a Porsche because it's too expensive, I don't earn enough money, I'm too young, I'm too short, I'm too fat, I'm too this, I'm too that. And so the conscious mind accepts or rejects the idea that comes from spirit. Now, your subconscious mind, its only responsibility is to record what you have chosen, right? So you can either choose the idea from spirit that says, this idea of transportation called a Porsche or whatever other vehicle is possible. Or the conscious mind goes out and pivots to what we call the race consciousness, the dominant beliefs. The beliefs that says you can't get the Porsche because you have to have this amount of money, and you have to have this, and you have to have that, and you have to have da. All those things are race consciousness. And so, you choose which one of them. Are you going to listen to spirit, or are you going to listen to what the world says? Once you have made your choice, your subconscious mind says, okay, record it. And that choice is recorded in your subconscious mind. Now, whenever something shows up for you in your life, it is because you would have chosen it in your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind would have recorded like a tape recorder, or like you put something into a computer. And so when you open back the file, which is the life, your world, your body, your affairs, everything, what comes up in that file is what you put in, the choice that you said yes to. That is why it is important to allow the principles of truth to anchor themselves in your subconscious mind by being recorded. You have to catch them and say yes to them. So when the ideas come that says, you know, it is possible for you to have more. It is possible for you to be healed. It's possible for you to experience health and wholeness. You have to be able to say yes to that by listening to the spirit. And once you say yes to that, your subconscious mind records it. The issue is that we're saying yes to other things. And sometimes we're not even consciously saying yes. Sometimes we are unconsciously saying yes to what we don't want. We say yes to what we don't want sometimes by the dominant energy that we are allowing and giving our attention to. So somebody says something and we think, Lord, me can't do that. That's enough for me. Maybe for somebody else, but that's not for me. You know, I can't be, you know, somebody idea comes around health and you see somebody with a nice, gorgeous body of whatever kind, you say, no, me can't do that. Not the discipline, or that is for them. Or no, too big bone, or this run in my family, or that run in my family. All of those are what you have chosen and accepted for yourself. But those are not the divine ideas that are coming to you as to what is possible. And that is why you have to allow the principles of truth, the truth of who you are as a child of God, made in the image and likeness of God, endowed with infinite possibilities. You have to allow those to land in your world and to take root. How do you do that? You do that by consistently surrounding yourself, like Philippians tells us, with the things that are true, that are pure, are honorable, are just. You know, sometimes in my car, I'll have a song on repeat over and over and over and over again. And sometimes when people drive with me, they'll say, Conroy, you listen to the same song over and over and over again. But what I am doing, that's one of my techniques when I want to allow something to land, like Blanche is telling us. When I want to allow a principle, a truth principle to take root in my subconscious mind, when I want it to be recorded, when I want it to fill up my tape, so that whenever I start playing that tape or whenever I start punching into that computer and I turn it on, all that comes up is this thing. I listen to it over and over and over and over again. Because guess what? We've had all the years of our life with things that we have been putting on this tape. We have been putting things on this tape. Every single day we wake up, we put things on this tape. It's too expensive. It's too good to be true. Not going to turn out to nothing. You go through the day, you can think about all the thoughts that run through your head that you say yes to. And once you said yes, those are recorded in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind plays them out in your life, world, and affairs. So, in order to erase that, you have to use what Blanche tells us are denials and affirmations, which is one of the techniques that New Thought teaches, one of the techniques that the Universal Center of Truth teaches, that you can use to be able to erase from your awareness, from your subconscious mind, those false beliefs that you have said yes to, and replace it with new beliefs of the truth of who you are. A denial is a firm statement that denies that what you have said or what you have given power to has any control or any power over you. So you deny that sickness has any power over you. And you affirm that God is my life, that God is my health. You deny that brokenness, that lack, that has any kind of power over you. And you affirm that I am a rich child of God, that money is flowing to me easily and effortlessly, consistently. You deny that I can never ever find a good relationship, or nobody ever likes me, or nobody ever loves me. And you affirm the love of God is my love now. I'm attracting loving people and loving experiences and loving relationships. Because you use the power of denials and affirmations, and you keep practicing those. So you have to find which habit is going to keep you in a place of experiencing on the goodness of God. You have to find that. I have to find that for myself. And you have to become conscious of what you are putting on your tape recorder, which is your subconscious mind, every single day. Whatever is showing up now in your life is what you would have recorded previously. If it's good, if it looks good, keep it. And affirm more of that so you can see more of that. But if it does not look like what you want it to look like, if it does not look like health and happiness and lots of money, substance, and prosperity in whatever form that you may need it, it means that you have to do some work in getting to the subconscious mind and using some denials to deny all of those erroneous things. It's like that eraser, you know, back in the day you used to have a cassette tape, or even now you can go in and press delete, and you go back and you delete all those things, and then you fill that space with the things that you want to affirm. And that is what we are talking about today. Bland says we prepare our minds through the use of denials and affirmative prayer and practice using spiritual principles in new ways or even in new contexts. And she suggests that we affirm, I am a new creation in my awareness of the Christ in me. I am a new creation in my awareness of the Christ in me. I listen as Spirit imparts guidance and direction for me each moment of the day. I let it land in my soul. All is well and well indeed. So, let's see what is landing for you. What is landing for you in every single area? If you think of an area that is not working as well as you'd want it to work, whatever area that is, and you must ask yourself, what is my dominant belief about this thing? And then you must ask yourself a second question. What is the spiritual principle that I can use, that I can call forth, that I can dwell on, that I can feed my soul, my consciousness, my awareness, my attention on until it gets recorded in my subconscious mind so much that it is what plays up in my world, life, and affairs. You must saturate yourself with that principle. Whatever it is you're working on, saturate yourself with it. Let it land like it's saying. Let it rest in your soul. Wrestle with it like Jacob did. Jacob wrestled with the angel. We are here in the Bible. Wrestle with that thought. Show me what prosperity looks like. Show me what prosperity, if it's a money issue, show me what abundance looks like. Show me what abundance looks like in this area. Show me, God, I'm open, I'm willing to learn. Show me. I believe when you said whatever you told me. I believe your word is true. I believe that Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I believe that you prepare everything for me in the presence of mine enemies. I believe. Show me. What does it look like? What should it show up for me like? How does money substance show up for me in my life, world, and affairs? If it's health, what does perfect health look like for me, God? Show me. Show me what perfect health looks like, and hold yourself to that vision. If it's life, if it's whatever it is, ask God to show you. And then once you get that principle, that spiritual principle, find something. If it's a song, keep singing it. If it's an affirmative prayer, keep praying it. If it's a book, go read it over and over and over and over again. And I'm not talking about anything theological. I'm talking about simple, simple concepts. Maybe you're just saying, God is my life. God is my life. As you walk through your health experience, God is my health. God is my health. God is my health. Maybe that's what you're saying. God is my wealth. God is my understanding. God is the love that I seek. Maybe that's all that you're saying. Love is here. Joy is here. Peace is here. Understanding is here. Wisdom is here. Strength is here. Faith is here. Illumination is here. Life is here. You have to find what works for you, and you'll be able to ring that over and over and over and over and over again. Music works for me, so I will listen to a song over and over and over until it just rings deep into my consciousness. What works for you? Find that thing so that you can continue to let it land. You can continue to let it land. Find that thing now. Find that thing now that you can continue to let it land in your soul. Because we have to be able to feed on the nourishing things, the things we want to nourish our body. You wouldn't feed yourself poison unless you're intending to, make your transition. You wouldn't feed yourself something that doesn't taste good or that's not good for your body, I hope. In the same way, feed yourself with spiritual principles. Feed yourself, feed yourself, feed yourself, feed yourself with spiritual principles. As we listen now, let it land. Let this thing land, that you know that God is always there. Even when you feel like you are not anything, God is there to support you. God says that you are strength. You are love. Even when you're weak, God is there. And you have to believe that that is what God wants for you. I have to believe that God's will for me is really absolute good. And once I believe that, I can let it land. Leave the voices in your head. There'll be voices that you'll hear that say, yes, you think you're all that. Yes. Da-da-da-da-da. All those negative voices. You've got to focus on the truth about you. Yeah? When you're feeling weak, remember that you're strength and God is your strength. When you're afraid, remember God never leaves you nor forsakes you. All the time. Believe.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. Oh, in you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. You life, and now I'm laying it at your feet. You have every failure, God. You have every victory. Yeah. Oh, you say I am loved when I think I am weak, and you say I am strong when I think I am weak, and you say I am held when I am falling short, and when I don't belong. Oh, you say I am yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. Oh, I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe.
So I'm inviting you this week, for the rest of today, for the rest of the week, to join me. Find a statement of truth, a principle that you will work with for this week, that you will allow to seep into your soul and into your consciousness and be recorded into your subconscious mind, that it must play out in your life, world, and affairs. For this week, I'm going to work with the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. For me, which means that all that I need is available to me right here and right now. Type in the chat, what is your principle? What is your statement? It could just be God is. It could just be I am. It could be life is here. It could be health is mine. It could be money flows to me easily and effortlessly. It could be all my relationships are in harmony. Whatever it is, type it in and find something that will remind you in every moment that this is what I am now moving towards. This is the truth I'm having to anchor in my soul. This is the truth that I'm allowed to let land in my world, in my life, and in my affairs. So that every thought that I think is aligned with this truth. Every feeling that I feel is aligned with this truth. Every word that I speak is aligned with this truth. Every action that I do is aligned with this truth. And every reaction that I do is also aligned with this truth. And I guarantee you that if you work with that truth and let it sit in your soul, you will start to see the difference in your life, world, and affairs. Because like I tell you, once you have accepted this truth and allowed it to be recorded in your subconscious mind, then it must play out in your world and affairs. It must play out in your world and affairs. And that's why we say, and I believe. Yes, I believe. I believe because that's what the promise is. That's what the promise is. I believe. What are you believing today about yourself? I believe. And not just what you're believing about yourself, what are you also believing about others? Remember, God says that you are loved, you are made in His image and likeness. You said, I believe. Don't stop. Come on, I believe. I believe. Let that land. I believe. Maybe yours is the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Let that land. I believe. Thou preparest the table before me. I believe. Yeah? Let it land, whatever it is. Whatever it is, for For I know the plans for you, they're plans to prosper you. Let it land. I believe. Come on. I believe. That should be your prayer. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe. So as we're singing, I believe, I'm knowing that the light of God is surrounding you. Let that land. I believe the light of God surrounds me. The light of God shows me my way. Do you believe that? Say, I believe. If you believe that the light of God is guiding you, say, I believe. I believe. Come on, I believe. If you believe the love of God enfolds you, say, I believe. If you believe the love of God enfolds you, say, I believe. If you believe that the power of God is protecting you, say, I believe. If you believe the power of God is protecting you, everywhere you go, you're going and you're coming. The power of God protects you, I believe. If you believe that the presence of God watches over you, say, I believe. If you believe the presence of God goes before you to make your way smooth, easy, and successful, say, I believe. I believe. If you believe that wherever you are, God is, say, I believe. If you believe wherever you are, God is, say, I believe. If you believe that all is already well, say, I believe. That's what we're asking for you today. You have been fabulous. You have been a great audience. And I'm encouraging you, go forth, just reminding yourself of that principle that you have agreed to work in for the week. I believe. You can look it up. Look up the song if you want a reminder. Something that works for you. And join us every day at 12 noon for Noonday Inspiration. And guess what? This Sunday we kick off our annual makeover series, AIF 2021. You don't want to miss that, because that is when we take a close look, a dive into 7 spiritual aspects of our lives. And each week we're going to let each aspect, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, relational, vocational, financial, social, we're going to let all of them land with this principle that guides them and that supports them. You have been fabulous. Come on, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe.